In continuation of our story of Narad Muni's arrogance, we will find out what Narayan did to teach him a lesson. As soon as Narad Muni left Vaikuntha Lok after boasting about his great achievement of winning over Kamdev, Sri Hari decided to teach him a lesson. He created a beautiful city on Narad Ji's path. The magical city thus created by the divine powers of Narayan was prettier than Vaikuntha Lok itself. The city was made of beautiful gardens and was decorated by divine installations. The inhabitants of the city were all healthy and pious people. The city was ruled by just King Shilnidhi. He had a daughter named Srimati. The king had invited princes and kings from various kingdoms to participate in the Swayamvar of his daughter. All these kings and princes were staying in the city, enjoying the various means of entertainment arranged by the great king. When Narad Muni entered this divine city, he got so impressed that he decided to visit the royal palace to meet the king. Shilnidhi welcomed the great rishi in his royal assembly and offered him a seat near him. After properly greeting the sage, the king called his daughter and asked her also to seek blessings from Narad Muni. When Narad Muni saw Srimati, he got infatuated by her divine beauty and asked the king, "O king, who is this divine beauty?" Hearing these words from the sage, Shilnidhi said, "O great sage, she is my daughter, Srimati. All this arrangement that you see around is for her Swayamvar. All these princes and kings are here to marry her. I would request you to bless her to find a groom suitable for her in the Swayamvar." Narad Muni, filled with desire to marry Srimati, addressed the king, "O king, this daughter of yours is full of virtues and will bring good luck to whomsoever she chooses to marry. She is like an incarnation of Goddess Lakshmi herself. Her future husband will surely be someone full of virtues. Someone like Mahadev, who cannot be defeated by anyone and has won over Kamdev himself. She will marry someone who is even better than the gods." After blessing Srimati to find a perfect match, Narad Muni left. However, his mind was still stuck with Srimati. His desire to be with Srimati kept growing. He thought, "What do I do so that this beautiful princess rejects all the princes and kings attending her Swayamvar and selects only me as her groom?" Narad Muni decided that if somehow he can be the most handsome man attending her Swayamvar, there would be a high chance that the princess would pick him for marriage. The great sage thought that Bhagwan Vishnu was the most handsome among all gods, and if he somehow could borrow his looks, there was no chance in the world that Srimati would reject him in the Swayamvar. With this thought in his mind, he reached Vaikuntha Lok and asked for a private audience with Bhagwan Vishnu. When Vasudev asked his devotee what he desired, Narad Muni said, "O Lord, I recently met King Shilnidhi, who is a great devotee of yours. He has a beautiful daughter, Srimati. She is the most beautiful woman I have ever come across, and I want to marry her." Bhagwan Vishnu smiled and said, "That is a very good thought. You have my blessings." Narad Muni continued, "The king has organized a Swayamvar for Srimati to pick a suitable husband for her. I want Srimati to pick me among all the attendees. For that to happen, I want you to bless me with your likeness." Hearing such words from his devotee, Narayan said, "O Narad, you are my greatest devotee, and I will do good by you. I will cure your desire the way a doctor treats his patient. You go and participate in the Swayamvar, and you will get what you truly desire." As soon as Sri Hari said these words, Narad Muni's body transformed into the body of the most handsome man. However, his face became like that of a monkey. Narad Muni looked at his limbs and body and got convinced that he now looked like Bhagwan Vishnu himself. Thus, full of confidence, Narad Muni visited the royal palace where the Swayamvar of Princess Srimati was being organized. Naradji seated himself among other suitors and thought, "Now with the appearance of Narayan himself, he is sure to be garlanded by Princess Srimati." He was oblivious of the fact that his face was that of a monkey. Others present in the assembly could see Narad Muni in his normal, original form. Two agents of Bhagwan Shankar also joined the assembly, disguised as Brahmins, and started tailing Narad Muni. These two knew the reality of what was going on. These agents of Mahadev sat close to Narad Muni and started making fun of him. Narad Muni ignored the two and started waiting for the princess to arrive and select him as her groom. In the midst of all this, the beautiful Princess Srimati entered the assembly, accompanied by her companions. She was holding a divine-looking garland in her hands. She threw a glance at everyone in attendance and started walking in the room, observing all the potential grooms one by one. When she approached Narad Muni, he got very happy, thinking the time had come for the princess to pick him as her groom. When the princess looked at him and observed his monkey face, she looked away and moved on. Once the princess scanned through the entire room full of prospective grooms, she stood disappointed at the center. At that moment, Bhagwan Vishnu appeared in the form of a king, and the princess happily offered the garland to him. Naradji was full of anger and disappointment. At this moment, one of the agents of Mahadev said, "O great Rishi, why are you getting so agitated, succumbing to your lust? You thought you could win over the princess with your appearance. Have you even seen your face? First have a look at yourself in the mirror." Narad Muni decided to find a mirror to look at his face. The moment he laid eyes on his reflection and saw the face of a monkey, he started burning with anger. In his fit of rage, he looked at the two agents of Mahadev and cursed them. "You two have been making fun of me all this while. This behavior suits only low-life demons. I curse you to be born as Rakshasas in your next birth." Hearing these angry words from the great sage, both the agents decided to accept it as their fate and went away without saying any words to Narad Muni. Cursing the two Shivgan did not calm Narad Muni down. He blamed Bhagwan Vishnu for this embarrassment. What happened when Narad Muni decided to confront his Bhagwan? Find out in the next part of the story.